Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Scott, creator of All Chalk, and I'm back in week 4 of the NFL season to walk through the Make Picks slate. Week 3, when I made my picks live with you in person, it didn't go very well for me. I ended up with a -4. I'll quickly glance at one of my groups here. You can kind of take a look at the week 3 results, and you'll see here that I ended up with the Buffalo, the Rams, and the Niners. They started my week. None of them covered. The Rams game was brutal. We all saw that the field goal blocked in return for a touchdown that led to an Eagles cover. That one was a bad beat, as bad a beat as I've ever experienced on All Chalk. But moving on, I can't dwell on that. The rest of the week didn't go much better. Moving on to week 4. Up first, we have the Thursday night game. It's going to be played NFC West matchup in Arizona with the Cardinals facing the Seahawks. Arizona plus 1.5 at home. They've had a really solid defense so far this year. I don't think they've given up 20 points to any team they've played. Seattle, yeah, they're tough too, man. I like Sam Darnold. I think that he is capable of winning a road game in Arizona, as tough as that defense is. I'm going to go with the Cardinals. I'm probably not going to multiply that one. I'm going to go with the team that I feel like has the most stout defense. So Cardinals on Thursday night. Moving on into Sunday. We just talked about that Rams versus Eagles game where the Eagles made that last second block field goal. I hate the Eagles. Never have liked the Eagles. Really hate them right now. Meanwhile, I love Tampa Bay. Love Baker Mayfield. I think they're such a cool team. They're plus 3.5 at home against Philly. I'm gonna go with Baker and the Buccaneers, and that's purely a spite pick. I'm not joking. I don't care. I think the Eagles have a very good shot at covering that -3.5. I think the line's probably gonna move, and you're gonna see Eagles -4, maybe even 4.5 before that game kicks off. But I'm going to go with Tampa Bay plus 3.5, and that's a spite pick. So I'm probably not going to multiply either of those first 2 games, but we'll come back to that later. Next up, we have the Sunday afternoon game. It's the 125, probably America's game of the week. It's a great one. It's Lamar Jackson and the Ravens heading into Kansas City to play Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs. The Chiefs are underdogs, plus 2.5 at home. For good reason this week. I think the Baltimore Ravens are a solid squad, and I think that the Ravens have something to prove. So I'm going to go with Baltimore -2.5. I think that spread would be bigger if it wasn't the Chiefs. I think that the Chiefs are getting points just for being the Chiefs. I think this would be probably a -3.5 if it weren't for the fact that it's the Chiefs. So I think we're getting good value with Ravens -2.5. I hope I'm right. I hope the Lions' loss was a fluke and they'll come into Kansas City and wreck shop. Okay, so next up we have the Sunday night game, and it's another good one. We have Micah Parsons and the Green Bay Packers heading into Dallas to play Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. The Cowboys are plus 7 home dogs to the Packers in this game. The Packers lost one last week. They're coming off of a loss. I'm not exactly sure what happened with the Cowboys last week. I can't recall exactly where they ended up. Let me take a quick look at the papers. They lost to the Eagles in week 1, beat the Giants in week 2, and then lost to the Bears 31-14 in week 3. So when you see Green Bay -7, you think that the Packers probably have something to prove. They want a win-win for Micah, who feels disrespected. I'm going to go with Packers -7 against Dallas because, like the Eagles, I can't stand those dudes in Dallas. Never have liked the Cowboys. I guess that's the 49er in me. Okay, moving on. We have a Monday night doubleheader. First one is between the New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins. Looking at the Jets have been playing good teams fairly tough. They played the Buccaneers very tough last week, lost 29-27. And then in week 1, it looks like it was the Steelers that took care of them, 34-32. They scored 32 points in the first game, 27 points in their last game. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen with the Jets, but I also know I'm not huge on Miami. And so I'm going to go with the Jets in this game. You know, I just think that they're due for a victory. They're 0-3 on the season. They're playing Miami. I don't think Miami is a juggernaut. So I'm going to go with the Jets. The second half of the doubleheader, it's going to be the Bengals, the poor lowly Bengals who lost Joe Burrow. The Bengals are going to be playing the Denver Broncos, and the Denver Broncos have been looking tough. The Broncos last week lost to the Chargers 23-20. Week before that, the Colts beat them 29-28, and then they handled business in week 1 against the Titans, who are no major obstacle for a team of the Broncos caliber. So meanwhile, the Bengals, they've got Jake Browning, I think, is throwing the ball for them. They just don't have a crazy great offense. They lost 48-10 to the Vikings. I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos. That's 7.5. I sure do wish it was 6.5. I could see him winning by a touchdown. That half point might end up burning me, but I'm going to go with the Broncos in the second part of the doubleheader. So those are my picks. Now the hard part. Now figuring out which games I want to multiply. I witnessed firsthand last week one of our best performing players over the course of the 6 games on the slate ended up losing it because he had a triple on the over-under. If he had just not used that triple, if he had held his money ball in reserve, he would have won the week. But he used it, and he ended up missing on it, and that cost him. It's a 6-point swing when you miss on a triple. 6-point swing in all chalk is a huge difference, meaning if you go from, plus 3 points if you hit your triple to minus 3 points if you miss on your triple, that's a big 6-point swing, and it will cost you most weeks. I've seen very rare instances where somebody misses on their 3x money ball and wins their week. It's not common because 6 points is a giant number in all chalk. But having said that, you really need to use your multipliers when you're playing in groups of 8 or more players. I think 8 is kind of the magic number because somebody's going to get up there into that, close to 10-point range. Somebody's going to have 5 out of 6 picks correct. If you're not using your multipliers and they are, then you're not going to have a chance against them. So as tough as it is sometimes to choose multipliers on these games, I think I recommend it for most players playing in a group of 8 or more players. If you want to win your group and you're playing a weekly bet, you really need to use the multipliers. Everybody's strategy is different. This game is brand new. And as the game starts to get more and more popular, we're adding users every day. We're adding a lot of users every day. It's starting to grow. But as the game gets more and more popular, I'm hoping that a strategy reveals itself, that the smart people out there, I'm not one of them, but very smart strategic players out there will develop a strategy for how and when to use multipliers in all chalk. But for this week, the multipliers. Baltimore versus Kansas City, I think there's good value there. I think I could see myself using at least a 2x on that. Green Bay versus Dallas, that -7 is pretty steep. I don't know if I love that, but I'm probably going to go 2x there as well, and then put a 3x on the Broncos. I don't like it. I don't like it, folks. You heard it here first. I'm not happy with any of my picks. I'm going to go with it anyway. I'm doing it. You guys, I'm doing it. What do I care? What do I care? It's just all chalk, right? It's fun and games. If I was putting real money in a sports book, I would be much more concerned. But I'm not, because that's what all chalk's all about. You get to have a little bit of fun with your friends, win some, you lose some, and you have some good banter along the way. It's all about camaraderie, dudes. Let's go. There's my slate. Confirmed picks. We have Arizona, Tampa Bay, Baltimore double, Green Bay double, Jets, and a triple on the Broncos. Bo Nix, baby. Let's do it. Confirm my picks and head back to the main menu. Has anyone in any of my groups made picks yet? I'm the first one in that group. I'm not the first one in that group. My wife's already in. And we have a difference in, she's got a money ball on the Cardinals. The big one for me this week is going to be that Sunday afternoon game if I'm going to have a chance to beat Meg. Now, I think Meg won last week or almost won last week in this group. So she's tough to beat. She's always up there. She was a top 5 finisher in 2024. So we'll see how it goes. It's fun, man. It's all fun. Those are my picks for week 4. I wish you a lot of luck with your picks. Make sure you get them in before Thursday kickoff, and we'll check back next week and I'll let you know how I did. And I want to hear from you guys about how you did as well. Until next time, thanks.